What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another Total War Warhammer video for you guys today. And today, guys, we are playing as the Greenskins, and we are going up against the mighty Lizardmen. Now, guys, a bit of a build here. I mean, it wasn't really much of a build. We were kind of just going from some good old dino smash and monsters here. So we were playing as the Greenskins. Our front line is consistent of 2 Night Goblins with the Fanatics. Pretty much picked them. Oh, this is also SFO, guys. So if you guys are unaware, SFO is a mod on the game that pretty much overhauls a lot of the systems that they have in place. Makes it significantly more enjoyable as well. Don't get me wrong, the base game itself is lots of fun. Love playing it, the base game. SFO just makes it a little bit more harder and more lore friendly. So guys, like I was saying, we've got 2 groups of the Night Goblins Fanatics on the front line. A group of Goblins with Spear. Spears, you know, just your basic anti-large sort of chaff. The Night Goblins Fanatics, we want those guys mainly for their ranged attack that they get. The spinning loons. So essentially, this can just shred through a whole unit pretty easily if they're lined up correctly. Also, out on each flank, we've got 2 groups of the Orc Boar Boy Biggins and Armored Melee Expert, Anti-Infantry, Area Attacks. Pretty much wanted to grab these guys because I was like, these guys should provide a bit of backline harassing if they've got any sort of weaker infantry that we can kind of take on with them. So we went with those guys. In our mid lines, we've got 2 groups of Black Orcs, armor piercing. They're great for the Lizardmen because the Lizardmen have natural armor. So we brought these guys along. Didn't really bring too many anti-large capabilities, and I wasn't expecting so many bloody dinos from my opponent. We've also got Grimgor Ironhide down in front and center, ready to buff up his Black Orcs. He's ready to go. We then also have 2 Savage Giants. These guys are really good for like monster mashing and just taking on dinos. They've got really good melee attack, really good weapon strength, and I believe they do have anti-large capabilities. No, they don't, but they do have the armor piercing damage, and they do have a Savage Roar in SFO, as well as that they are immune to psychology, which is really good. So, and that's pretty much round. Oh, and then we also have the Rusty Arrows, which is essentially for the armor sundering, the poison attacks, pretty much to whittle down the big dinos, any sort of infantry lines they have. So we've got those guys, and then we've got also the Arachnarok Queen. So she's anti-large, she's got the Spiderlings, and in SFO, whenever you summon units, they actually stay around for the entirety of the match. They don't disappear like they do in the base game. And we've also got an Orc Shaman as well, with a couple of spells. We only really use him this round for the Gaze of Mork, which is really, really helpful when we start off. And as for my opponent, you can see he's got quite a lot of dinos. He's pretty much got a front line of red-crested skinks, 6 of those, I believe. Yeah, 6 of those. He's also got an Ancient Stegodon with Engine of the Gods. I believe he's got 2 of those, 3 of them. 3 of those bad boys. He's got the Bastillodons with the Ark of Sotex. He's got 3 of those as well, I believe. Yeah, 3 of those you can see. He's got Gorok out on front. He also has a Skink Priest of the Heavens up in the sky. And yeah, that is pretty much it for my opponent's build. Pretty much just going to slam through and cause as much terror as possible with his big boy dinos. So guys, without further ado, let's get the match underway. Now at the moment, we're kind of just letting him come to us. We've sent our Boar Boy Biggins up around the side. These guys are shock cavalry. They do have anti-large capabilities, I believe. No, that was just armor piercing. Maybe I made a mistake in picking this cavalry. I think I was supposed to go for the ones that had the anti-large capabilities, which makes a little bit more sense now as to why they died so quickly. So we decided to move our units up, and you can see that the Night Goblins get seen. They're revealed because they do have Stalk, I believe, possibly. They do start taking a couple of pot shots. We do send our Orc Boy Biggins into the dinos. Main reason I send them into the dinos is because I thought they were anti-large, but I must have made a mistake when I actually picked them because they're anti-infantry. So we should have sent them for the red-crested skinks. If I had known that, I would not have sent them for the dinos. I would have sent them straight for the red-crested skinks. And you can see there is a Gaze of Mork coming from our Orc Shaman, and this is going to connect beautifully with the Skink Priest. Watch this. Boom, boom. Boom. Look at that damage. Just like that onto half health. He starts routing and wavering, which is really good for us. We've got to wait for the cooldown for Gaze of Mork. Right now, it's just a standoff. I don't know why I didn't send the troops in, because we are taking a little bit of pot shots from the Ancient Stegodons. I mean, it's not crazy amounts of damage, but you can see here my opponent does initialize the attack, popping the Engine of the Gods down, And this is going to shred straight through our front line. Luckily enough, we do manage to see it, send them forward, and we're like, alright, now's the time. Let's get these guys into battle. We send our Night Goblin Fanatics in, and these guys are not going to have a fun time against this Ancient Stegodon. Look at that carnage. Straight down the middle of the flanks. We do send the spinning loons in. They do connect slightly with the red-crested skinks. You can see over there, they do a decent job. Not nothing crazy. Arc of Cjthecheesedj going down on these goblins with spears, absolutely destroying them. These red-crested skinks are going up against the Night Goblin Fanatics, which is, you know, pretty balanced, I would say. The Night Goblins, yeah, pretty balanced. The Night Goblins have poison, they've got more units, but you can see they're already taking a bit of a tumble. The Rusty Arrows are focusing in on the Ancient Stegodon. We do send the Arachnarok Queen out here to reinforce these Ball Boy Biggins, but she does get caught up by the Stegodon, and it's just going to be a big old monster mash down here, front and center between these two. Arachnarok Queen, she's got really good anti-large capabilities. We do try to send her after the ones over there just to help out, but she is caught up in this Ancient Stegodon Dino Mash, and look at that carnage. Look at the blood covering them already. We do pop a Spiderlings Hatchling as well to help out, try and get some rear charges on them. And right now it's just an all-out brawl in the center. The Black Orcs are in here fighting on the red-crested skinks. The Arc of Cjthecheesedj, though, is significantly better in the SFO expansion. Makes the area of attack much bigger. We've got Grimgor and Gorok down here going front and center, nailing each other, trying to deal damage. We do pop all the buffs out on Gorok, trying to deal as much damage to Gorok as we possibly can, because Grimgor is not known for being that strong. You can see there, Stand Your Ground, War, here we go, Gitsnik and Foeseeker is all popped to try and take on Gorok. I do believe we've also killed the Skink Priest. No, we do pop another Gaze and Walk, and you can see he's pretty much dead there. He does manage to rat off the battlefield, I believe. He does leave the battlefield, yeah. You can see the Arachnarok Queen has laid down the hurt on the Ancient Stegodon with the Engine of the Gods, and has fled, so the Arachnarok Queen is tied up here with the other units. You can see there we do pop Grimgor is the best, 25 weapon damage, 10 physical resistance, and 10 melee defense, as well as the extra speed. The Orc Shaman, he's chilling over here, but a huge Engine of the Gods going down here. We do try to move our Black Orc units forward. You can see we do manage to kind of get these guys forward. We do lose quite a few units here, though. And the Savage Giant, he is going to work. These guys are really good for dinos. I really like using them. They've got big mass. They just kind of tie down the units that they're up against. You can see these guys swinging around over here, smacking them. Grimgor, where are you going, mate? I don't know where we sent Grimgor. I think we just sent him a little bit too far to try and dodge the Engine of the Gods. And he might have walked a little bit too far forward. But you can see my opponent does send the Ancient Stegodon after the Rusty Arrows, trying to shut them down because they are laying the hurt on quite a few units. We do send our Orc Shaman out here to try and intercept the Ancient Stegodon, try and get these guys free and, you know, just have it battling out here. Arachnarok Queen, she's fighting two big dinos at the moment, a Stegodon and the Bastillodon, so things aren't looking too good for her. The Black Orcs, they're finishing off the rest of these red-crested skinks. Probably should have focused these guys down first, because these guys do have poison attacks, I believe. So the Black Orcs would have been good, but you can see here, Grimgor is out here fighting Gorok by himself. Big mistake for us, because Grimgor is definitely going to lose this battle against Gorok. As long as he's, like, sustained by, like, a bit of ranged help and whatnot, and, you know, a couple of infantry units, like Savage Giants would have been really good, which is why we sent them in here with Gorok. He would have been alright. But you can see, just like that, Gorok has just laid the smack on Grimgor. And at this stage, we're just trying to move him into the flanks of the Savage Giants, because these guys do have a stomp on where they do extra damage to those around them. And you can see these guys, they've got so much health. Slowly, the Bastillodon Arc of Cjthecheesedj is getting whittled down. But we do pop another buff. Or was it Gorok? Maybe it was Gorok? No, it was us. Yeah, here we go. 25 speed, 50% melee attack, and 10 vigor. That was from our Orc Shaman. You can see we do pop another Gaze and Walk off, trying to hit Gorok. I think we actually hit our Savage Giant with that one, which is why he went down so quickly. So I noticed that, because our one over here, he's on like full health, and this one just got smacked. So the Black Orcs are here, the Rusty Arrows are coming back into play. We're chasing off the red-crested skinks. These ones out on the flanks here were chasing the goblins with the spears, I believe. So I was really happy about that. Engine of the Gods going down on these Orc Boy Biggins, getting absolutely demolished. Ragnarok Queen is holding her own over here against these two big dinos, which I was really surprised by. But you can see we've got the Orc Shaman. He's getting pumped on by an Ancient Stegodon. Arc of Cjthecheesedj pops another spider buff going down. And you can see Gorok, he's on like full health. Practically. Like, what, almost half health, I guess. But Grimgor is just pretty much dead. You know, these guys, they don't have two different stats. 79 melee attack, 35 melee defense. Gorok does have significantly higher weapon strength, I guess, which makes sense. We do get the rusty arrows onto the Stegodon, trying to deal some damage before he gets into range of them again. And the Orc Shaman does go away. We do pop the wall, though, trying to get the buffs where we can get them. But I think that's why our other Savage Giant went down so quickly, because of that Gaze of Mork from our own Shaman. I think it misfired, and we actually hit our own Savage Giant, which was a damn shame. And because that probably could have turned the tide for us in this later game. You can see the balance of power is edging more towards my opponent's favor. We've done about 800 damage with the archers alone to the Ancient Stegodon. But these dinos, they're just so big, they're so meaty. The health pool is really big. In hindsight, I probably should have swapped out the Black Orcs for something with more anti-large capabilities, because these guys are just kind of more anti-infantry. They've got area attacks, so they are better suited to fighting infantry. You can see our Boar Boy Biggins have come up back a couple of times. We do spawn in some more spider hatchlings to try and tie down this Arc of Cjthecheesedj. Try and free up the Arachnarok Queen so she can come in here and help out the main pocket of resistance that we've got left. Big attack coming in from her, dealing 300 damage to the Ancient Stegodon. But this Arc of Cjthecheesedj just keeps popping off the damage. And you can see over here, Grimgor is about to go down. He's trying to get out. He's trying to escape from Gorok. He just can't manage it. He's got freaking spears sticking out of his eyes from the Arc of Cjthecheesedj. And Gorok is hot on his tail over there. He does manage to get Grimgor out of here, or does Grimgor die? He's on 39 health. Good old brave Grimgor here, popping off. He's running away, 39 health, not fighting to the end. We do get the Arachnarok Queen in here to try and finish these off. And right now, it's just a big old monster mash in this central pocket. A lot of the dinos are very low. They've got a lot of, like, they don't have much health left, but we just can't seem to finish them off with our dudes. One Savage Giant going at it. Arachnarok Queen starts routing Grimgor. He's getting chased down by a bunch of red-crested skinks. What a way to go for the mighty Orc War Boss. Just getting hunted. Oh, and just like that, this little skink at the front here knocks the killing blow down on Grimgor. These guys must feel really accomplished with themselves right now. We don't really have much of our forces left. I think the only thing left is the Savage Giant, because I do believe he is unbreakable at the moment. Sorry, immune to Psych, not unbreakable. And most of our other units are routing off. We do have a small group of Black Orcs that we do send in here to try and help. We pop Savage Roar on the Giant as well, which gives the Black Orcs a little bit of a buff, but there's just so many Terra Causing units. It's a big leadership loss to us. We've got not much of an army left. We do, like, look how close these guys are all to dying. The dinos, 800 health, 1000 health. Gorok's coming in. He's going to get the dunk on these Black Orcs. The Savage Giant does rout, and just like that, it is the end of the match. Fair play to my opponent, picking an infantry build. He didn't go with any skirmish build this time around, which I absolutely hate those builds, but they work on your opponent. Definitely use them. You don't want to not use what doesn't work. So you can see our Black Orcs did manage to rack up quite a few kills against the red-crested skinks, which in hindsight we really should have sent these two groups up against instead of sending them in against the dinos, because that would have done a lot better against them. And you can see a lot of his red-crested skinks were still alive. Big Dino Boys, they did a lot of work. A lot of work. The Savage Giants, I think, did pretty good. I think we killed our own one there with the Gaze of Mork as well. But we did manage to shut down the Skink Priest of Heavens really quick, which I think would have made the battle go and a lot quicker in my opponent's favor if we hadn't shut him down. Arachnarok Queen, she did pretty good as well. But, yeah, guys, definitely should have picked some more anti-large capabilities. I did think the Orc Ball Boy Biggins were anti-large for some reason. I don't know why. But, yeah, I picked them because I thought they were anti-large. I was mistaken. So, guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. Let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments. Let me know whether or not you enjoyed it and want to see more of this. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. I got this soda.